some wonderful memories.
Visualize that hill without any houses on it, and then the sun.
We basically build all our own buildings.
On the hill would be the horses.
Tornado knocked our other gym down.
Roof came flying off.
So there is a tunnel underneath that main road. And we all had our ice skates here with us. And the boys, they thought they were really modern. They'd climb up in the trees and put a
field hockey to America,
pretending that we were fancy skaters.
Who was the man on campus. And eventually I got to know
it was taken up with the computer. The computer was huge.
When I was here, you couldn't see houses. So wonderful memories of Sanford. History of this gym is really connected to the previous gym. It was built after the tornado. The tornado knocked our other gym down, Appleby Gym, in 1989, and this was built in 91. Miss Appleby brought field hockey to America and demonstrated it to people at Bryn Mawr College, and then they started field hockey in America. And Miss Appleby, who died at 106, she was a very good friend of Nancy Sawn's, and eventually I got to know her, and I actually visited her home in the New Forest in England. So the field beyond us right now is still called Appleby Field, but the gym is since gone. It was built by a local builder, and it was absolutely totaled. So there was no question. It wasn't, should we build this or that? We had no gym, and other than the small Geipel one. And so this is placed a little differently, but fundamentally in the same area, just about 30 feet over is where the back end of the other gym was. Actually, it's built on one of our old hockey fields. We used to have 6 fields here at Sanford, and this was one of them. The old gym was just kind of between here and Geipel, and when the tornado came in '89, the only place anyone could have survived was in the southwest corner, which is typical because of the way the winds move, etc. 2/3 of the roof came flying off. 1/2 of that, 1/3 of the total, fell on the hockey field that we have now up above, and 1/2 flew all the way across Lancaster Pike. Now that building was the Appleby building, and Miss Appleby, it was built in 1967, so this is a replacement for our 1967 gymnasium, which was totaled, absolutely totaled. Only one small part of a wall stood. The walls all went down. Any place you thought you may have been safe, you wouldn't have been safe except that very small piece in the southwest corner. But this one, we've had a lot of special items. Whenever we have an all-school assembly, our all-school assemblies are here because we don't have another building big enough to hold us all. Right. And we have an auction every other year that's held. It's a silent and live auction, and it's a good fun, and etc. And on alternate years, it's held at a country club in the area, but the smaller auction is right here, so we have no cost involved in terms of having to rent a spot or something. And there are other big events that are here, but of course it's primarily for sports, and the indoor sports, obviously. We have now a weight room and a training room, a very good one. We never had that before. So that's an addition. The wrestling room is an addition. We used to have to roll the wrestling mats out on the gym floor and then pick them up, etc. And now we have a wrestling room. For meets, of course, we take the mats out and put them out on the floor in the boys' gym. The tennis courts, which are there now, were up on the baseball diamond, near the baseball diamond, and before that, our original tennis courts were underneath Albright Hall, where it is now Albright Hall, was built on top of the tennis courts. And that's been a lot of things about Sanford, that what has been said can't be done, we do it. And it's also the same thing as no talent lies latent. We don't want our students to leave here not thinking they can do anything. You know, you can do it if you put your mind to it. And fortunately, that was one of Mother Son's basic themes, and even the teachers today are trying to help students realize the world's out there, it's yours. And in terms of sports, I love sports. I mean, as soon as the day was over, I just couldn't wait to get up on the sports field, played lacrosse, played basketball, played tennis, and also field hockey. They were the only sports for girls at that time. Everyone, when I was here, everyone 7th through 12th grade had to play a sport all 3 seasons, each of the 3 seasons.
All 3 seasons?
Each of the 3 seasons. That was the Country Day program because we don't have gym classes, so it was that. And Mother Son was not an athlete herself. Her son and her oldest, Phil Son and Nancy Son, were extremely good athletes, extremely. And so they carried on the leadership in terms of sports and the sports program. We have had here at Sanford 3 undefeated football teams. And I only know of one other undefeated team, and that was the 7th and 8th grade field hockey team that I coached in about 1981. And that we defended everyone. Only one team scored against us, and that was Tatnall. And they went ahead by 1, and I couldn't bear it. We didn't want to lose our undefeated season, so I just called the girls over and they did it. I couldn't do it. I was a coach on the sideline, but they got their act together and they won the game. But we would have had shutouts on every single game. So in a way, that was the best team ever at Sanford.